Attention, please.
All right, so this is the yellow boat group. It's Ariane, Barb, Sam, Logan, Mary, Chelsea, Carol, Tiffany,
Six,
and Molly in the back.
7, 8, 9, 10,
so
reach it
on this
out.
side, so a little bit of the timing is close, a little bit early from Barb and Sam. On this side in general, Ariane is doing a very good job moving the body forward and back and getting the blade low, holding the pressure. So she's a good reference point to compare it to. This camera angle is going to be a little bit tough for you guys in the back to see, but we can kind of still see the timing. Logan, definitely the top hand, it's got an elbow kind of pointed up a little bit high, and I can see you kind of straighten it out as you do the pull. You want to plant kind of a little bit more solidly with that top hand so it doesn't wiggle around as much.
Alright, nice job. Keep that pressure on right here. We don't need to go anymore.
Let's see. Barb, you tend to bend your bottom hand like a little bit early. Your body's moving well forward and back, but we want to try and get a little bit more pressure from the bottom and relax it a little bit more. It seems like you're starting your pickup a little bit early to the middle of the stroke.
Nice job.
Sam,
Tiffany, look up,
you have a slight tendency to be a little bit early, so that's one thing to work on. And also your
nice job, guys. Keep it nice and smooth.
Your stroke kind of starts a little bit negative. So if you pause the video at the moment where your blade is fully in the water, usually your blade's already a little bit negative. So you want to let that bottom arm kind of extend a little bit more in the front and just let it hang out there in the water a little bit, just to hang a little bit before we start the sit-up. That's a tricky one to do, but with a little bit of practice we can get there. Mary, you're looking generally pretty good. Body's moving forward and back. Your back is straight, posture is good.
Nice job. Get that top hand in front of you. Push it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Steve, you can get your top arm across a little bit more over the edge.
Chelsea, so you have a tendency to be slightly late, I think, but also your arms seem to bend also a lot. So from the recovery, your bottom hand kind of picks up a little bit early. You think you can hold that straighter just a little bit longer. It almost kind of looks like your body is following your arms, and you want your arms to kind of follow your body's forward and back motion.
You can also,
Carol,
release a little bit earlier.
So Carol, you definitely tend to exit a little bit early.
There you go.
So if we pause the video when the first blades come out, usually yours and Tiffany behind you, usually you guys are the first couple ones out of the water. So we want to hold that pressure a little bit longer.
Alright, looking forward.
And part of that is the same kind of thing that Sam has, where when you enter, it's often just like a little bit negative. We want to make sure when we enter, we kind of plant a little bit more downward and forward. And again, that's with our hands, not our body. So body's still moving forward and back, but let your hands come down forward a little bit more. Take a look at Ariane in seat 1. She's doing a really good job of that. Body's going forward and back.
Sit up, you can rotate, you can square up a little bit.
And the hands are getting
You're
low up in the front.
a little bit to the front, and you kind of stay rotated as you sit up. You can square up a little bit to the front.
See, and Molly, you're looking pretty good. It's hard to see from this angle here. Oh, slipped the stroke there, but in general, Molly, you look pretty good too. And then for those of you guys in the back, so that's Chelsea, Carol, Tiffany. You can see Molly tends to hold her pressure a little longer too. So that's the kind of the timing that we want to get.
Go.
All right, here's the start. Good. Everybody's quick to the front.
3,
quick and low to the front.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Logan, kind of the same thing where you got that top arm bend. You could probably get your body a little bit more forward and back too. But really, I think it's just the top arm will make a pretty big difference. And then
Nice job.
just gotta be careful of the timing, make sure
GG, want to get
we're all
your
going
paddle
in and
a
out
little
at the
bit
same
closer
time.
to the boat. Here we go. Good adjustment.
Alright, yeah, so Barb in seat 2, you want to hold that pressure a little bit longer. The amount of time that we spend with our blade fully buried in the water needs to be a little bit longer. And again, these are easier to see if you take it slow and you pause it, but you want to get a little bit more pressure through there.
Let's keep that pressure long through the back. Joseph, don't look out there. I saw that.
Okay, so so this is again for Carol and Tiffany, in seats 8 and 9 back there. Towards the end of your stroke, I can already see you're sweeping out a little bit. So when you finish the stroke, it's already kind of a little bit outside the boat. You can compare to the people in front of you, but your paddle swings out just a little bit wider, a little bit higher. We want to bring it all the way just straight back to the hip. Good job, Tiffany. You're looking a lot better than a few weeks ago. So keep it up.
Get that top arm across a little bit more. Roger, if you can, try and get your top hand a little
Molly, you're
bit
doing a
lower,
really good job.
high.
Stacking that top hand. I can see it from this angle. You're getting it all the way over there. Good job. Timing is a little funky, but I think it might be somewhere between Chelsea and Tiffany.
You haven't been noticed.
Logan's got a tendency to be a little bit early.
For today, we are trying to match blends.
I think it's Logan. Oh, maybe it's Sam. Sorry, maybe that's Sam. Yep, that's Sam.
So make sure we're all breathing.
We want to make sure that when we finish the stroke, so I'm kind of looking at Ariane right now, and Sam, you do a little bit of this too. When we finish the stroke, you want to be still having pressure forward with your top hand. If your top hand bends such that your elbow starts bending a lot, and it's kind of like, past,
all right, Mary,
not past
a little
you,
bit late to the
if you
front.
can see your top hand maybe going like even with your elbow towards the end. It's not quite even, but from that position you won't be able to push forward as much with your top hand, which is the pressure you want on the blade.
Looking down every time you reach forward.
Make sure you don't,
keep that chest
bend your elbow so much towards the end of the stroke.
When
we pick it up, keep it out in front of you. Alright, here we go. We have Molly stroking up front now. This is again the other side. It looks like we have a little bit of rush. Okay. So in seat 10 now, we have Casey, who's previously stroking. So you notice how much longer Casey's blade is in the water. Ordinarily I'd say, Casey, we shouldn't match you up to the front, but actually we want the rest of the boat to look more like Casey. So, in front we have, looks like Tiffany, Carol, and Chelsea. We want the blades to be holding that pressure just a little bit longer through the back. We still got a rush. I think it's still starting from Sam or Barbara, and you probably need to pause to slow down the video to see where it's coming from. Logan, it almost looks like you have a slight hang in the air. Alright, it's not this boat, but actually if you look on the boat this is recording from, then you can stack your hands a little better and relax a little more. It's going hand. Alright.